Max Keiser recently tweeted that 1 million Bitcoin buy order God candle is already a done deal. So let's break this baby down. But first, let me read you some headlines. First headline, Saudi Arabian Salafist cleric writes a fatwa deeming Bitcoin acceptable under Islam. Why is this a big deal? Well, there's over 2 billion people on the planet who practice Islam. So first and foremost, that's why it's a big deal. This other headline reads, Bitcoin asset permissible for Islam, according to the 90-year-old Salafist clerk from Saudi Arabia, confirming it. So they just gave everyone the green light in Islam to purchase Bitcoin. That's a pretty big deal, wouldn't you think? Now, you can see a headline here, breaking news, big oil money to enter Bitcoin, the 90-year-old Saudi Arabian. Now, clearly, this is the current prince. This is not the 90-year-old they're referring to, just FYI, but I digress. Here's what Max shared, 100%. The Saudis will make Michael Saylor look like a peanut. A $500 billion buy order, which is a $500 billion, triggering a God candle is a done deal. There you have it, coming directly from the high priest. Enjoy that orange pill, you know what I mean? And shout out to CZ with his Middle Eastern garments on here. But anyways, Max also tweeted here, these two are teaming up to make Larry Fink, aka BlackRock, and Michael Saylor look like peanuts with a buy order of 1 million Bitcoin and a $100,000 God candle. Send it. Let's go. Now, he also wrote here, you don't change Bitcoin, Bitcoin changes you. That's a great quote. And someone asked him, how do you know this, Max? And he responded, I am an award-winning journalist. I make it my business to know stuff. There you have it. Now, also, we have the tweets regarding the God candle, which is a $100,000 uptick in Bitcoin in play, which I'll cover here shortly. And also breaking news, I think 2 weeks ago, the world's largest oil company, Saudi Aramco, partners with Japanese finance giant SBI Holdings to explore investing in digital assets. Why is this a big deal? Because this is the largest oil company in the world, partnering with the largest Japanese bank in the world. And you know what a digital asset is, right? Bitcoin is the #1 digital asset in the world. So they're basically saying they're getting ready to invest and make some major moves into Bitcoin. Max responded, translation, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and Qatar about to drop $1 trillion into Bitcoin. God candle, send it. Max also recently tweeted, what poor people want is a no-cost way to protect whatever small amount of property they have, even if it's $1, from getting confiscated by rich people. Preach. Only Bitcoin provides a no-cost way to secure property for the first time in history. Poor people know that printing money with UBI only makes them poorer. Poor people want a chance to escape poverty. Their only real chance is Bitcoin. Very powerful words. Now, another recent headline, Qatar Sovereign Wealth Fund is considering investing $500 billion into Bitcoin. Now, clearly, that's a tremendous amount of money. The Bitcoin market cap right now is just north of $800 billion. Some other tweets I'm going to be breaking down, Samson Mao's latest predictions for 2024. But first, I want to dive deeper into this story because it's pretty important. Bitcoin, as we all know, has taken the world by storm and has been subject to debate amongst Muslim scholars and jurists. Some have argued that Bitcoin is haram, which means forbidden, because it is not backed by a tangible asset. It is subject to speculation and volatility and can be used for illicit activity. Others have claimed that Bitcoin is permissible because it's a form of money that can facilitate trade, and it's based on a transparent and consensus-based system, and it can empower the poor and the oppressed. Now, one of the most influential voices in favor of Bitcoin is, I don't want to mess up that name, but let's just say it's this 90-year-old Saudi Arabian cleric who is a member of the Council of Senior Scholars, the highest religious authority in the kingdom. Let's go. That's right. Now, this guy, he made his legal opinion ruling back in 2018, deeming Bitcoin acceptable under Islam. In his fatwa, he addressed some of the common objections and misconceptions about Bitcoin and explained why he considers it to be a valid form of currency. First, he made the argument that Bitcoin is not a mere illusion or a virtual entity, but rather a real asset that has value and utility. He compared Bitcoin to gold and silver, which has also scarce and fungible commodities that are accepted as money by people. And he said the Bitcoin is similar to gold and silver in that it can be mined, exchanged, and stored. He also said the Bitcoin is different from fiat currencies, which are issued by governments and can be manipulated and devalued. He said the Bitcoin is more trustworthy, preach, and stable than fiat currencies because it is governed by mathematical rules and algorithms that ensure its limited supply to prevent inflation. Second, he argued the Bitcoin is not a form of gambling or speculation, but rather a form of investing and saving. He said the Bitcoin is not like conventional stocks or bonds, which are based on the performance of companies or governments. Thank God for that. He said that Bitcoin is based on the demand and supply of the market, which reflects the preferences and needs of the people. He said that Bitcoin is not subject to artificial manipulation or interference, but rather follows the natural laws of economics. He said that Bitcoin is not a zero-sum game where one party's gain is another party's loss, but rather a positive-sum game where everyone can benefit from its growth and development. Now, third, he argued that Bitcoin is not a tool for corruption or crime, but rather a tool for justice and freedom. Take that, Jamie the Tapeworm Diamond. He said that Bitcoin is not like conventional money, which can be traced and controlled by authorities. He said that Bitcoin is anonymous and decentralized, which protects the privacy and sovereignty of its users. Preach. He said that Bitcoin is not a means for money laundering or terrorism financing. Take that, Pocahontas, but rather a means for charity and zakat. He said that Bitcoin can help the poor and oppressed to escape from poverty and oppression by giving them access to a global and borderless financial system. He also stated he does not see any reason to prohibit or discourage Muslims from using Bitcoin as long as they do so with good intentions and follow the ethical principles of Islam. He said that he believes that Bitcoin is a blessing from Allah, who has created everything for the benefit of mankind. He said that he hopes that Muslims will embrace Bitcoin as a way to enhance their economic and social well-being and to contribute to the advancement of humanity. So that's a pretty big deal. This coming from the head that everyone listens to, who is Islamic. Now, let me know your thoughts. And do you think 2 billion Islamics may be embracing Bitcoin as a result? Let me know your thoughts. And I actually want to share with you in length this tweet Max shared. The God candle is a $100,000 uptick in Bitcoin, which is in play. It'll shift the global axis of wealth and power in a single tick. I have one word for you, $100,000 Bitcoin God candle fans, Qatar. The rumors are getting very loud on this. Their sovereign wealth fund is rumored to be looking to buy $500 billion worth of Bitcoin. And you can see Bukele meeting with the Emir of Qatar. And then he updated here to add clarity. My source said, Bitcoin makes our $500 billion sovereign wealth fund effectively worthless. We should just convert all of it into Bitcoin. Now, hypothetically speaking, if Max is right and they did convert their sovereign wealth fund into Bitcoin, how do you think that will likely take the Bitcoin price action? Do you think we'll have that Keiser candle incoming? Let me know your thoughts. Now, I actually want to share with you these predictions from Samson Mao. He just recently published late last night. Here's Samson's predictions for the new year, and salute, family. Number 1, Bitcoin all-time high. I think we all know that's a given. Number 2, $1 million Bitcoin price. Oh my God. If he is right, we're all in for a pleasant surprise here around the corner. He also says that 3 nation states will implement a Bitcoin strategy. I also agree with that. He's been working behind the scenes with many of the world leaders and presidents, including in Colombia. He just met with their president, sent them 100,000 Satoshis. He also doing work with the Senator Kempis over in Mexico. So there's a lot of speculation of which countries will likely adopt Bitcoin next as a legal tender. Let me know your thoughts. He also is going to engage 10 more countries for Bitcoin adoption. He also says Aqua Bitcoin drives LUSDT volume. He says liquid Bitcoin goes mainstream. Bitfinex securities take off, and Bitcoin bonds from 3 more jurisdictions, not just in El Salvador. Let me know your thoughts on his bullish predictions. Now, also, he shared this tweet, a preview of things to come. This is the 4 Omega Bitcoin candle. Check this out. This is what would happen if we got a $400,000 Bitcoin candle, sending the Bitcoin price to $428,000 per coin. Can you imagine it?